Hello everyone, today is going to be episode 1 of the spoiler review of Gravity Falls Tourist Trap. So this is going to be spoiler and depth review, not at the cover, but there'll be more to cover in the future. So this is going to be episode 1, so here we go. Start off with Dipper and Mabel being chased by an unknown creature or whatever it is. And Dipper is the only one that narrates this episode, so this is his narration of the episode, which is pretty fun. There's no more narration, any characters throughout the series, only one. So he narrates the whole episode, where they came from, why they're here, what's going on, and Dipper stumbles around the town being weird and mysterious and all of that. So he wanders in the woods, finds a fake tree, knocks on it, realizes it's metal, pushes a button, opens the door, and there's journal number 3, which has 6 fingers. It has 6 fingers on the book, on the cover, and that's basically the author telling us that this town is weird, mysterious, but I'm interested, discovery and research and all that happening. Very cool stuff, very, very cool stuff. So it has everything about Gravity Falls. Apparently there's 3, we don't know how many, so far we know there's only 3. There's only 3 journals so far we know know how many they are, so only the 3rd one Dipper has. So anyway for that. Mabel is boy crazy in this, and she is lonely, she is bored around the town. She says the town's boring. I need to find someone. So she tries to rig a note that puts out yes, definitely, and absolutely to boys who want to date her. And of course, one boy declines on her, and basically says, I need to find someone. I need to find somebody. So she does. She finds someone named Norman Normal, which is the teenager she found with a hoodie. He found him at the graveyard, which is hilarious, because this is very funny how it happens. So he's weird, awkward teenager, like all teenagers are, with a black hoodie on. Walks into a door, just weird and awkward. And Dipper finds him weird and just something mysterious about him. So he looks at the journal, and he looks up the journal, and he saws a page of a zombie that looks exactly like Norman, but a zombie. And he thinks Norman is a zombie. So now he is scared about him. He's scared for his sister's life, so he basically has to warn her sister. And he says, please, come on, really? And she's hoping that he is a vampire. That's what she's hoping. So a lot of Twilight fiction jokes in this very much. So yeah, this is a very jokey show also. There's a lot of scenes of jokes in this, montages of scenes in the past with Zeus thinking, that seems weird. I think that mailman is a werewolf, which is basically a guy covered in hair, which is hilarious. How you watch the episode, it's really funny and get really funny. So a lot of that happening throughout the whole series. So you see that kind of happen. So yeah, not just for kids, for adults also. So it does a good job of doing that, balancing both ways with it. So anyway, Mabel wants to go on a date with Norman. She does, and there's a fun little montage of them going on a date, and it's very funny, very funny how they do it. So Dipper is stalking and also wants to find out who Norman is and who he is. And he's kind of like out of luck. He says, I have no proof. I guess I'm going crazy. I guess this town's weird, but yeah, maybe to them it's normal or whatever. So then he's watching one clip of video of Norman putting his arm around Mabel's shoulder, and his hand falls off, and he looks back, puts his hand back on, and Dipper's like, whoa, what happened? He rewinds it and realizes that he is a zombie. How? There's no way, he is a zombie. So he tries to warn her again, and then doesn't listen to him, hoping he's a vampire. So he goes on a date with Norman in the woods. They go in the woods, and Dipper's got to warn her what he really is. So he goes to Zeus to a golf cart and tells him, hey, I need to find my Mabel. I think he's dating a vampire, a zombie, whoever it is. So okay, he gives him a couple objects, and one funny thing he gives him is a bat. He said, if you've seen a piñata, use it. He's like, thanks, puts it on and drives off with the go kart to rescue his sister. So Norman's about to reveal who he really is, and he takes off his hoodie, and he is 3 gnomes. He is the gnome king on the top, and the other 2 are basically his soldiers. And it's hilarious because there's a flashback of an episode where, Mabel gets freaked out because the first thing Dipper shows to Mabel in the journal is gnomes. And he's like, oh shoot, I screwed up. Goes back and says, here, zombie. Here it is. Bam, zombie. And he's like, that's when it happens. So now we find out it's gnomes. Hilarious, funny twist. I didn't see it coming. I did not see it coming. It was really funny. But there's a funny little reference throw back in there, and then actually there are gnomes. So the gnome king wants a gnome queen. So they're lonely. He's lonely, wants a gnome queen. He decided to go for Nabel. He likes Nabel a lot. Sees something in her, and he wants to be their queen. And she's like, "You guys are good. I'm a girl, and you're gnomes. I'm sorry. You know, I'm gonna have to decline." And gnome king's like, "That's okay, Mabel. But we're going to have to kidnap you." So they kidnap her and take her to the Gnome Kingdom in the Enchanted Forest, they call it. So Dipper gets up there and finds out who they really are. They're gnomes. They go, whoa, they're gnomes? I would never think they're gnomes. That's a shock. I'd never expect that. So then there's a funny scene of Dipper using the shovel, one of the weapons, using the shovel to actually take the king and then just basically get him out of the way, save the sister, get out of here, and that's what they're being chased by. So the Gnome King said, "Gnomes, assemble!" And they're Megazords. They're all the gnomes assembled as Megazords, which is really cool, giant gnome, like a giant gnome, pretty much. And they're being chased. That's what they're being chased by in the narration, the start of the narration of the episode. So now we find out who they are, and they're getting chased by there. They are in a really fun little chase scene in this. They finally get to Mr. Shack, try to defend themselves, and they're pretty much out of luck. But Mabel says, "Okay, I'll be your queen, but I want a kiss from the king." Flashback to it. There's an episode where she's practicing kissing scenes with a leaf blower, and with a leaf blower trying to kiss Norman, and it's pretty funny, very funny. It goes wrong, but it's really funny. So we go back to it, and basically she lured him to kiss her, for the Gnome King to kiss Mabel. And gets the leaf blower, sucks him up. Mabel and Dipper, 3, 2, 1, launch the Gnome King at the gnome, a giant. They all disassemble, they all escape, and they say, "We'll be back for you. We won't forget, we'll be back for you." And one of the gnomes, this is a funny, dark thing, but very funny. In this, basically of a gnome trying to escape, and there's a beer or soda can ring and drinks. Gnome gets caught, and basically gets drugged and gets caught, and then taken by a deer, and then deer runs away with him. Dark, but so funny. So the episode ends with them in the Mr. Shack, and they're all saved, everything's fine. The Mystery Shack's on called Mystery Hack. It comes back and forth. Mr. Hack, Mr. Shack, which is pretty funny throughout the episode. So yeah, but anyway, Grunkle Stan made a mistake on the inventory. He said, "I made too much money. I made too much on the inventory. You can take wherever you want. It's on the house." So Dipper loses his hat. He gets the iconic blue and white hat with the pine tree of Gravity Falls. And Mabel, Sully, I love this. She gets a grappling hook. Don't know why, but it's hilarious. She said, "I want a grappling hook," and then Greg was like, "You want something else than that?" I said, "No, I want a grappling hook." Goes for a grappling hook. So we'll see when she uses a grappling hook or not. So they get back to the bed, and this is actually pretty cool. Mr. Shack, there's an attic, and that's where Dipper and Mabel's rooms at. And now they're like, "This is pretty exciting. Can't wait to find more of this mystery unknown stuff on the offer." And he tells Mabel, "Mabel, we get the light?" She says, "Sure." He uses the grappling hook to shoot the light, which is funny. And there's also, so we go back to Mr. Shack later at night, and then Grunkle Stan looks very, very suspicious, don't know why, and we find out that something's weird about him. So he goes, looks around, makes sure nothing on, types in a code in the vending machine. It opens a false door. He comes in, looks around, left and right again, and then closes the door. Episode ends. So now, something's weird about Grunkle Stan. We'll get into that in the future, really in the future, but overall, very fun episode to get into. There's a post-credit scene, which is, they're funny scenes, but they're not really big, but they're funny scenes. This is a meme throughout the Gravity Falls series of Smaggy-Lock, one of the gnome soldiers, puking out rainbows. And it goes on for the whole credit scene, which is pretty funny. So the episode ends. Fun episode. Not a lot to get into, but overall, some couple things in this episode that's really going to be coming back later on episode. Episode 2 will be called Legend of the Gobblewonker. We'll do that on next Saturday, a non-spoiler, and next Sunday, a spoiler review of episode 2. Hope you all enjoy episode 1. You guys have a wonderful 4th of July week, 4th of July day, and also I'll see y'all soon. Like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and you guys have a wonderful day, and goodbye.